Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare.
Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Somebody give me a 5x5, a little comm check for me. Let me know the sound is emanating from this position. While we do that, we're going to go ahead and check the chats real quick here. We're going to do our standard good morning. On my Rumble side, the real Patriot Medic. First, West Virginia Pappy. Number 2, Hicktown Houndy. You are the turd. And Andy Pearson says he's a turd, but you're not. You're number 4. Bob, 11 Papa, good morning. Miss Melody, good morning. And let's let everybody's giving me a 5x5 on that. Nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate the activity on the Rumble side. Let's go ahead and check the YouTube side. Tefel, first Catitude, number 2. Jordan O'Neill, you are the turd. Bradley, West Virginia Pappy's omnipresent. Debbie Chandler, Bradley, Tefel. Catitude, Rumble was not being cooperative. I unfollowed LP. It unfollowed LP. That is not good. I don't know what's going on there. Blaine, good morning. Aham, haven't seen you in a while. Good morning. Ricks, RC, good to see you. Eagle Lover, Southern Tier Prepper. Hey, good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. Where we got here? BK 1008. Where we got here? Preston McLean, Captain Oh My Captain. And everybody's giving me comm checks after that. Super duper pooper scooper. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in to hanging in there. Looks like we got 29 people on Rumble and 15 people on the YouTubes. So the slow migration is it's working. My plan is working. Okay, let's see here. Some quick admin notes. That way the people who watch the live stream later after it's been recorded, tomorrow, Thursday, tomorrow, Thursday, the live stream will take place from the road. So, to be basically sitting in my car, just reading you guys stuff and talking about stuff really, really rapidly. But tonight I have kind of a little bit of, you guys didn't know about this. A lot of us YouTubers kind of support each other. And tonight, Grumpy Acres Farm is going to be having a WROL card game. It sounds boring, but basically each person gets answered these really, really tough cards. I've got, hold on. I ought to use them more often, but I don't. To be honest with you, I just kind of forget about them. There's this thing is full of cards. It's pretty crazy, and they're all like situational awareness cards, or like situations like, what would you do? Here's the situation. Your head is on fire, your feet are in gasoline, and your wife says, go buy me something. Go. What do you do now? And so he's going to be doing that. And I wanted to be there to support him in doing that. So I will be there. I'll be like the guy in the back in the chats, asking really hard questions and saying, no, that's wrong. I would never do that. So that is part of the plan. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, and that is happening tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will ask everybody in the Discord, but I'll ask you guys here now. Please come out. It's Grumpy Acres Farm. You can find him on YouTube. I don't know if he restreams out to Rumble or not, but he's definitely on YouTube. That'll be happening tonight at 8 p.m. And he actually already has the link up for you to like be notified type of thing. Let's see here. Tomorrow, Thursday, 7 p.m., watch party for the Patreons. I think it's really important. I might open this one up to everybody because I think it's really important. And I think it's good to know what the facts are on this particular subject that the watch party is going to be about. I want to thank Major Ken, who is late as usual. I don't understand. I was literally chatting with him 20 minutes ago, but he's late as usual for giving me these ideas on things to watch for the watch party. He just is. He seems to be connected on these long video formats that are super, super informative and sometimes very entertaining. Viking Queen, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. Oh, we got some more stuff going on in the chat. We got where we at? Tefel, Southern Tier, Suburban Prepper showed up. Hey, good to see you, bro. Went off grid. Jordan says I went off the grid for New Year. What did I miss? You missed everything. So many things happened. Not until like January 2nd. Then all hell broke loose again. Where we at here? Beecher's here. Good. Ian's here. Gibbsby here. Good morning. The game is so much fun. Y'all should watch. Yes, it's absolutely fun. It's absolutely fun to do. I did one. They're working on one of the what they call it, the Graybeard special. That was before like the girlfriend got a hold of me. But we're looking to do that in the future as well. But it's as usual. He has got a full up homestead. So, you know, making YouTube videos isn't really his full-time job, you know. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. But we're gonna have a watch party tomorrow night, 7 p.m. And as usual, the video is a surprise, and it normally lasts for about an hour. So bring your beer, adult drinks, all that good stuff. And we obviously talk during the watch party. We chat and we converse about the things that we are watching. Okay, so we got into that. Do me a favor, guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit that like button. Also, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and you will get notified every time I make a new video. I was very surprised. I made a video yesterday, a 1-minute video yesterday about upgrading your gear, and it was very basic. And I'm actually thinking, because I had some kind of pushback, a little bit of pushback on like the trauma shears. You know, I got educated on trauma shears day before yesterday by a no joke EMT kind of guy, and yeah, he's an EMT anyway. And it was just like, wait a minute, I've got tons of these trauma shears everywhere, and I'm looking at him, and he's showing me all the things that are wrong with the ones that preppers buy, and I was just like super surprised. So I made this 1-minute video about upgrading your trauma shears, and boom, it's got almost 2,000 views in less than 24 hours. So I was like super surprised. But I may actually do another very short video on long format, just explaining the differences. It's not rocket science. It's literally a super short video. But I think it's good for people to understand that there are certain things that you should not be, you always try to save money, but there are certain things that you should not be skimping on, okay? You know, normally the things that are going to save someone's life, you do not skimp on those things. So let's see here. Miss Melody says the best trauma shears I've ever owned came from Air Evac. I will have to, Melody, send me a message. I'll have to remember that, because, you know, a lot of times, guys, it's like, oh, I want to check that out. But then with my daily tasks, with my preps, with my life in general, with running a couple of businesses, and then somehow figuring out what I'm going to talk to you about the next day, or even making a video for you, you know, long form, things just kind of fluff. They kind of float away. So let's see here. They gave them out as a promo. I gotcha. Well, I mean, just anyway, let's see here. Let's see here. Jordan says, I saw the Earth was vibing. Was this another deep detonation that triggered all these? I have no idea. Anarchy, good to see you. Good morning and happy hump day from rural Minnesota. Suburban Prepper says, anyone remember watching Romper Room as a child? I feel special like that when Local Prepper says my name. Well, I try to make everybody feel special. That's kind of the goal. Let's see here. Light Raider, good morning. Guns Coast to Coast has showed up again. Someone needs to do a video on SHTF credit, given how people's credit cards are maxed out. That's a deep, dry subject that people are really curious about. But when you start explaining it to them, and you start using words that they don't use, that are not part of their day-to-day vernacular, they tune it out. They turn it off because they really want to know. They really want to understand it, but there's just not enough time in the day to, like, you know, contributing rates and what's a contributing rate and just crazy stuff. Let's see here. Consume. Where are we at here? Expensive, but Leatherman Raptor shears. Yeah, it's a great piece of gear. I'm always going to fall somewhere in the middle, but I've decided which ones I wanted. I actually went and bought a set of. They come in a set of 2. They're not a bad price. They hit all the wickets for a mid-grade trauma shear, and they do come recommended. Yeah, I ordered 2 packs. So let's see here. So I have 4. I have 4 now. I've got to switch out all my trauma shears. Let's see here. But here's the thing. The best trauma shears I owned were when I was a paratrooper and flight medic in the Army. Thank you, taxpayers. You're welcome, sir. Let's see. Good Guns Coast Coast says, yes, I've found the most useful vids are boring and seldom view. Yeah, exactly. But Civil War gets 1 million views. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, you got to watch out as a developer. You have to watch out because sometimes you say some things that might gain traction, but the algorithm will actually shut you down. So what I'm discovering, I'm starting a lot of new stuff this year, guys. I'm going to, I'm not going to say that I'm going to take a run at making this a business. That's not what I'm going to say, because this is always going to come back to me only sponsoring and using products that I believe in. And if a product is junk, then you're never going to hear about it here. It's I don't know. It's Civil War. It's a touchy subject. I've done videos on it, but it all comes back down to be prepared, build your own castle, and when the time comes, do what you feel is right. Let's see here. Frosty, good morning. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in some time. Matter of fact, I haven't seen you partner in some time, so I don't know what he's doing, but I appreciate the clicks. Okay, so basically, like I was saying, tomorrow I'll be on the road, but I will do a live stream. Tonight, 8 p.m. Is the Grumpy Acres Farm Without Rule of Law video or live stream that I will be trying to work with him on. And then on Thursday, which is tomorrow, 7 p.m. watch party. And I think I'm just going to open that to everybody. But that watch party is going to be on Rumble only, guys. It'll be on Rumble only because it has things that we could probably show on YouTube. I've seen on YouTube, but I want to take no chances. So, okay. So with all that said, let's throw you over there. Let's take a sip of coffee. Do me a favor, guys. If you could hit the number 1, let's go ahead and wake the algorithm up there for me. Just bam, just carpal tunnel that bitch right in there. And I will get the party started. I've got a couple things clicked on over here that I'm going to go ahead and turn on for you guys. Let's see here. We're going to click on that, and hopefully we've got this right. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Okay, so I'm trying to make this close that. This is so like go away. I mean, you can X so many times. All right, so this is out of Zero Hedge, and as the name, the title said, The Great Reset ? So, and I'm sure that's going to draw some people in here that are thinking like WHO and the wolf and just stupid things, but that's not what this is actually about. It's something that we're seeing, but it's not actually like being talked about as the world turns. And thank you on the YouTube and Rumble side for doing the as usual. YouTube beat you, Rumble, even though there's more people watching in Rumble than there are on YouTube. Gotta love it. All right, so consumers are rejecting the Great Reset. What does that mean? A friend got a rental. Excuse me. Of a Tesla over the holidays. It's undoubtedly the industry standard for EVs and a complete blast to drive. The problem, it's not a practical car at all. He was driving in the cold and the car was nearly drained after 2 hours. Searching for a charge was no easy task. The first one didn't work. The second one stated that it would be charged in 10 hours, which he didn't have. The third one charged in 1 hour, but that was a full hour wasted. And we're going to go past all of this. His conclusion: this is indeed a glorified golf cart designed to keep you at home and under the thumb of the manufacturer. And this is just a test. The repairs are worse. Keep in mind that this is the best the industry has to offer. The other manufacturers of these things make products not nearly as highly rated, which is why so many of them are sitting on lots unsold and why orders for the machines are plummeting. It seems like the EV craze has peaked already. Growth in gas cars is now far higher than electrics, flipping a trend from 12 months ago. Finally, consumers are figuring it out. This is a good second car, provided you're driving in your own town. You have a hookup at home and can charge it overnight. If you don't suddenly have to go out of town, it's a toy, sometimes a fun one, but not a real car. For that, you need gas. The idea that this car is going to transition the United States to clean energy is absurd. If every car were electric, the grid would crash and rationing would be the norm. And maybe that's the whole point. You drive only with permission. Nothing, you know what? I don't like you. I don't go away. Go away. X, this thing won't go away. I hate you so much. Where are we at? I got all distracted. There we go. Let's see here. It seems like the EV craze has peaked already. We already read that. We're going to go to the next paragraph. The idea that the car is going to transition the United States to clean energy is absurd. If every car were electric, the grid would crash and rationing would be the norm. And maybe that's the point. You drive only with permission. Nothing about your transportation is within your control. Authorities will decide everything for you. It's a perfect strategy for creating a society of dependence. Fortunately, consumers aren't playing along. We still live with the remnants of a capitalist system whereby manufacturers have to make profits. So that's a serious problem with the whole industry. It could very well collapse in 2024. Oh, did somebody say the word collapse? Sure, Tesla will still be around making luxury cars and trucks for well-to-do urbanites, and bless them for it. But it's not for everyone. It isn't even for anyone who has a long way to go. Even now, the only substantial pockets of broad ownership above 20% are California and DC. The heartlands know better, and so do people in very cold latitudes. Interesting. As long as we're on the topic of fails, consider fake meat. Remember how it was going to replace the real meat? Well, take a look at the grocery stores today. This is another product that has peaked. The stock of Beyond Meat was $196 in 2019. It has fallen and fallen. It takes it's a bargain at $8.72. Wow, how are they even still in business? With no one being particularly interested. It looks like this one isn't long for the world, which makes you wonder why muckety mucks are still pushing this nonsense on us. Consumers aren't having it anymore. The same goes for that thing that we can't talk about, for which your tax dollars paid. The companies have stocks and patents, and a seemingly public demand, except for one thing. I can't say that. They're so highly, I can't say that either. This is an incredible disaster for both Moderna and Pfizer. The Pfizer stock is down $28 from $59 in 2 years. Moderna has fallen from 1 to 100 from 384 in the same time frame. They're both sitting on massive stockpiles of those things with almost no remaining public demand for the endless things. They also face lawsuits with claims that the companies wildly exaggerated the benefit. In any case, they were never necessary for the vast majority of people, and certainly not for children. They paid off the food or the FDA to give them permission to even sell products that would never be approved under normal conditions. Once again, we have the remnants of capitalists to thank for that. Government tried to force them to get the thing. They succeeded among some segments of the population of a time. They also enlisted Hollywood stars and even manner of influencer, I hate the term, to browbeat people into getting it. Whole cities were even shut down to the people who didn't partake. At the very least, the companies and cooperating government officials should apologize for the disaster. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop reading there because I'll be honest with you guys, I had not read that entire article, and it's kind of went into Rumble land, basically, where it's safe to say those things. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the chat. JB made it. Good boy, Guild. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Let's see here on the YouTube side. You know what? I don't have my chat. I normally have my chat set up over here for you guys, so you can see chat overlay on. Let's see here. I'm just going to go over here and look at these because these are easier to look at right now. Can I make you bigger? Rub it. There we go. All right, let's make you slide you over here. All right, let's see here. Took some time, local honey, for that cough. Yeah, I start with a cough drop 10 minutes before we go. It's actually here, not here. So it's weird how it works. How many kilowatts does it take to charge? How much money? I have no idea, Eagle Lover. Believe it or not, guys, I actually used to own not one, but 2 Priuses. Absolutely love them. But once the battery packs go on them, thousands of dollars to repair. I actually blew up both of them. Let's see here. My electric bill went from 260 to 310. That seems appropriate. We are in the middle of winter. Let's see here. But mine also charges itself. Oh, I see, because you're using your charger. I got you. Gibsy says, we had a 2023 rental EV for 3 days. It had major sensor malfunctions and refused to start their junk, and the government loses money backing them. It's all just part of the green agenda. That's all this is, guys. Listen, when's the last time we've heard the term the Green New Deal? We haven't, because those people that wear the blue ties have weaseled their way into every type of bill, engagement, whatever it is, to deal with each one of those. Say there were 20 things in the Green New Deal. So they've piecemealed them out into little bitty agendas that are less noticeable. They came at us full force with, it's like $10 trillion to save the planet. Sign the bill, give me your vote. And that no. And so they just piecemealed it out and made it part of stupid, the whole, basically what was the name of the bill? Somebody write it in the chat. What was the name of the bill that was supposed to make the economy super duper great? I can't remember the name of that bill. So somebody write it in the chat for us. And that was the Green New Deal, minus a few things that would have made red star clusters go off. Let's see here. I don't know. Agreed. I'd never rent or buy one. I knew I shouldn't have invested. I should have invested in lithium. I know, right? E-bikes is what preppers need as a backup for transportation. Dude, if e-bikes weren't so damn expensive, I would have one. I would have one. Not joking. I go to the store all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm always wanting to get this little knick-knack or something, just like something for a meal or whatever, which reminds me, guys, remind me, I need to talk to you about my my current how things are going with my spending something. I can't remember my spending diet. Let's see here. Let's see, how much does it cost at Walmart charging station? I don't know. I've never seen a charging station at a Walmart before, so I couldn't answer you. Let's see. I charge off 110 in the garage. Didn't even upgrade to 220. Let's see here. Most charging stations don't charge anything for the first 2 years. What? That's crazy. Well, still won't buy one. I live too far out of town to think it's a good idea. Gotcha. Yes, if you wouldn't working on my truck, can't watch. Oh, yay, Kentucky Goatman, work on your truck. Okay, but like I said, listen, if you guys are interested in see, here's the thing. When I had my Priuses, I was getting somewhere between 40 and 50 miles to the gallon, okay? And that was some 20 years ago, if at the most, okay? The technology has gotten better, so you're getting even more miles to the gallon, because that's really the goal. That's why that's the only reason people are even playing this game, is because the price of gas is expensive and they get more miles to the gallon, so they pay less for gas. It's that easy. This whole idea behind electric vehicles, it's completely niche. It's totally niche, and the reason is because the maintenance on them is through the roof. The amount of qualified mechanics is very, very, very low. and the amount of parts that are available are also low. So you buy one of these things, it breaks down, and now you're stuck without a car because you traded in your gas eater, right? So I always tell people, if you're interested in EV stuff, Inflation Reduction Act. Thank you very much, Andy. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's really the Green New Deal. But I absolutely love my go-kart on frickin', I used to call it go-kart meets Star Wars. Absolute driving that thing around, they zippity around. You can flip a switch so it's nothing but gas. It has an emergency, say, just awesome little car until the battery pack dies. They're normally only good for about 2 years. Anyway, so let's see here. I think we burned through the chat already. They're great at hybrid. Yes, Major Ken. And welcome, Major Ken. But yeah, hybrids, I think they're great. I absolutely think they're great. It's just that maintenance. It's just that maintenance that can get you. It can get you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and switch over. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, let's see here, something that might be warm, near and dear to your hearts. We're going to push. Did I push that button? I don't think I did. I got to push that button right there. And then I got to push that button right there. All right. We're going to have a sip of coffee. Do me a favor, guys. Type the number 2 in the chat. Going to wake that sucker back up again. We're gonna make like the rhythm of the night is going to be like making the chat go crazy. All right, so I've got this one up right here. Beef ribs warm my heart. I actually got a thing of a rack of beef small ribs at Walmart yesterday, at Food Lion for $11. I was very surprised, absolutely surprised. Those of you that hit number 2, thank you very much. Those of you that are not, you are slackers. I'm here to entertain and educate. Let's see here. So the next one here is also at a zero hedge. We're going to see collisions all over the planet. That's scary. Pushback against tyranny and control will accelerate in 2024. Absolutely true. Where are we at here? Financial expert and former Assistant Secretary of Housing, Bush 41 admin, says the top story out of 20 top stories of 2023 was massive, documented pushback to tyranny and control by the evil deep state globalists. You know what? Absolutely true. I read a lot of articles and I try to put things all together. And if you think about all the stuff that I'm actually talking to you about, it really is about pushback on tyranny. CF explains our top stories in 2023 in this year is the year of pushback. It was so long. And it was so big, we had to make a special page and move the other 19 stories to a whole different section of another page. Wow. And that is not a pretty woman, but okay. Let's see here. Stories on constitutional protections, different litigations on the First Amendment and Second Amendment. And we have one on information sovereignty and infrastructure. We're going to talk about information sovereignty today as well. We have stories on all the pushbacks against the media, including litigation to hold people accountable and stop emergency powers. Wow. We have culture wars about saying no to international organizers, woke capital controls, and ESG, or environmental, social, and governance investing is toast. ESG is toast in the eyes of people. That doesn't mean that the government and large businesses that are woke will not stop trying to press it. The state's attorney generals have gone after ESG and Larry Fink, BlackRock CEO, and he's had to publicly backpedal. They are steamrolling him. We had another story about taking it to the streets and have a whole section on pushback heroes. In 2023, people started to realize that it is kill or be killed. We have to push back because there's no one going along with this. They're trying to kill us. Number one, they're trying to take all of our stuff and we can't let them. CAF also talks about what she calls massive collateral fund. That's interesting. Actually, no. Yes, Beth said that right. Massive collateral fund. The collateral fund is enormous, and we have talked about the money, trillions of dollars, that has gone missing for years from the federal government. This is what's going on in the United States and around the world for years. You issue debt, you get a bunch of money, and then the money disappears. So there's an extraordinary fraudulent system going around the debt markets. The reality is, if you're going to run a bubble like that, you need to be very strict control of the collateral. This is what the great taking is all about. 2024 is the year the pushback can put us over the top. CAF thinks gold is a must-have investment for the years. The U.S. dollar is being weakened, but this is still dominant and dangerous. And she closes by saying, I think we're going to see collisions at a spiritual, legal, financial, and physical level increasing all over the planet. This is a real war, and we are in World War III now. So basically, there's a lot of pushback that's happening. Good. And it's good news. But here's the thing. Don't rest on your laurels, guys. Maintain what you're doing. Continue your preps. Continue your situational awareness. Continue preparing your family and your friends as best you can. Don't let your guard down. Don't let your guard down. Oh, let's see here. Let's be honest. The Bushes were DS. I don't know what DS is. Anarchy says 1-2 buckle my shoe. Good job. I like that. I like that. My question is, what are they going to do with all the debt people aren't paying back? Debtors prison for anyone or more forgiveness? Oh, that's a great question, Gibbsby. That's a great question. See, debtors prison, I don't think debtors prison will work anymore because debtors prisons only work in socialist countries. Debtors prisons were in communist countries and they were in socialist countries. And here's the thing. I don't think, honestly, it's not a criminal act to not pay your debt. And I'm not advocating to not do it because there's been times in my life where I've literally had to send, I might have a $100 credit card bill and, sent them $20 and written in good faith on the bottom of the check. If you guys didn't know that, basically, they can never take you to court as long as you're paying them something in good faith. There's been times where I didn't pay my credit card bill because I just couldn't do it. I told you guys the other day, or matter of fact, it was yesterday, how I just walked away from AT&T. There's literally nothing they can do about it. They can come after your assets. They can put a lien on your home. They could put a lien on your car. I mean, they could put liens on anything that's basically titled. But as far as that, there's really nothing they can do about it. That's why there's a statute of limitations on debt collections. But anyhow, what are they going to do? They're not going to do anything because here's what they created this situation. If our economy was strong, okay, if our economy was strong, we would have people in less debt. It's that easy. If you had $1 million, why would you use your credit card? Because some schmo on the internet said, I'm a multimillionaire and I never spend my own cash. I only use credit cards. That's because you're a multimillionaire and you can just pay off your credit card anytime you want to. Americans, standard Americans, just even in the middle class, cannot afford to do that. It just doesn't happen. Okay. So to answer your question, nothing's going to happen unless you have like a $20,000 credit card bill and they figure out that they can put a lien on your home. That's what's going to happen. There's not going to be any debtor's prison. Let's see here. And that's my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a financial professional, and this is not financial advice. Disclaimer activated. Let's see here. Bush is equal deep state. Gotcha. Oh yeah, definitely, man. What was he? He was in skull and crossbones. Yeah, of course it was, man. It's just a bigger, fancier word for the good old boys club. That's all it is. Let's see here. There is a statute of limitations, but there are companies out there who buy your debt and go after you for it. There are, but here's the thing. There's no money in it for them. you would, like I said, you really have to owe a substantial chunk of change. I've seen there. We'll just say that I know people that they've never gone after simply because just the debt is just too small. It would cost them more money and more time to actually go after you in court. Let's see here. Yeah, and they'll sell your debt. There's been times, I mean, I'm not perfect, and I've had debt that has gone past the statute of limitations. But it's funny because if you got to know the law. Okay, so the state of North Carolina, it was 2 years. So I actually had with the AT&T story that I told you yesterday, I actually would get third party, not even second party, but third party collectors, because the big guys sell their debt to get a little bit of money, and then those guys in the middle, they sell when they can't get you to pay up, they sell their debt to the scabs. They're the third party collectors, right? They don't give a shit. They don't care about the law, the third party collectors. And the second you say, and on a recorded line, the second you say the statute of limitations expired last year on whatever, this particular day, they hang up on you. And sometimes they call back and sometimes they don't. But the bottom line is know the law. When a debt collector calls, I just simply say, thank you for paying for it. Wasn't part of the agreement, but me and the original seller. Honestly, Bradley, you're better off just hanging up on them. You really are just better off hanging up on them. Anything that you say, it's on a recorded line. It can be used. We're a debt collection service, blah, blah, blah. Survival Buzz, good to see you, bro. Window Liquor finally shut up. Hello. Let's see here. But yeah, that's just, you're better off just, that's the magical thing about these phones. You just hit the block button. And then they figure out that phone number is not going to work anymore. And then they use another phone number and you just keep blocking. I honestly believe that these phones are probably full of thousands of blocked phone numbers. It's like their primary function in life to block people that you don't want to talk to. Okay, so we kind of got off subject. We kind of got off point, but that's A-okay. We got plenty of stuff to talk about today. We'll take a sip of the coffee. That's right. Don't give them or admit your name because they can start the claim over. Whenever I get a phone call from anybody, regardless, and it's like you answer the phone, you say hello, and in a business that I run, I use my personal phone because it's just the fastest way to interact with people. It's kind of high stakes, so I do answer my phone, and you can tell. It's like something automatically dials your number and then you say hello. And then there's this like 3 to 5 second delay. You're like, oh, here we go. And then somebody comes on, and they can barely speak English, and they don't even say who they are. They're not even courteous enough to say who they are. They just say, hello, is this? And they say your name. My response is always, and let me give you a little edification. My response is always, who's speaking, please? And then they have to do it because in order for them to stay legal and legit, they're forced to identify themselves. Okay. And the second they tell you who they are, I laugh and then I hang up and then I hit the block number. And then that's it. That's it. You don't have to do anything. So, okay. Once again, we're off point. I wanted to show you guys something real quick here. We're going to jump sites real quick because this is kind of a two-part. Thing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump over here real quick. I wanted to show you this, and so you guys know it. All right. So the magical insulin cap that Obama is like, you're going to start hearing about a lot of this. Unfortunately, it's already blown up in their face. Okay. The insulin was capped at $35 per dose, I guess, is now in effect, lowering the cost of Americans with diabetes. This is brand new. They're like, yay, victory lap time. Oh boy. Well, unfortunately, let's talk about this one right here. This one is actually more important, guys. And I can't help but stress that you need to have a freaking plan. If you are on medications day to day, you need to have a plan. Okay. So with the new years comes the new higher prices cost. Now, this comes out of Marketplace, which is a very reputable business website. So we're going to let's lay some facts down for you. I'm going to see if I can't make this a little bit bigger for you. All right. Where are we? There are only a few things. Can I get rid of that? I don't think I can. There are only a few things certain in life, death, taxes, and apparently increases in prescription drug prices at the beginning of the year. Isn't that ironic that coincided with that thing we were just talking about? They coincided with each other. And drug makers plan to raise prices on more than 500 drugs this month. January is a hotbed of prescription drug pricing changes, said Antonio Sisa, president of the Third Axios Advisors. Mostly, it's because that's also when insurance plans turn over. Okay, now it's making sense. It's absolutely making sense. So, why is this happening? Well, because that's when your insurance plans turn over. So they can make changes. They can send you those emails that say, this is the email to inform you in the change of your policy that we get all the time. So just FYI, if you are on current medications, they may be going up. One could argue that if a drug manufacturer didn't take a price increase, that in essence, it's a price cut because their prices are not keeping up with the rates of inflation. Bingo. Inflation. Inflation is one factor drug makers note, as well as worries about supply chains that cross the Middle East. Oh, no, not the Red Sea thing. But drug pricing strategy is often opaque. Yeah. These price increases can be pretty arbitrary. I think that's one thing that really frustrates the average person and the policymakers around drug price increases. Oh, it's one reason why there's more regulation of drug prices, including the 2022 inflation. Oh, there it is, Inflation Reduction Act, first yawn of the day, which capped how much drug makers can increase the price for people on Medicare. So now they're limited to increasing prices only on the rate of inflation. But that doesn't shield anyone else from the rising cost, as for everyone else, including health, insurers, pharmacies, and you. All right, so I wanted you guys to know that because medications are probably the one prep that most people fail at. They fail because they see it as, or it's sold as something that it's a nice to have instead of need to have. Okay. So I noticed in the chat there where Window Liquor says, does Jace Case offer insulin? Disclaimer to the new people. I am an advocate for an affiliate for Jace or Jace Medical. So I will be trying to sell you a Jace Case right now. Anywho, I do not know. Jace asked, or Window Liquor asked, does Jace Case offer insulin? I don't know. I'd have to check on that for you. But what I can tell you is that you guys need to do the legwork. You need to find out, because in the last, in 2023, that is something that all of these mobile medicine companies like Jace Case, Duration Health, and there's another one I'm actually an affiliate for, but Jace Case is the best in my opinion. So they have a whole list of medications that you could be stockpiling up on Frost. I guess I got Frost's attention. And they may very well be carrying insulin at this time. I do not know. I've never been asked that question before. I'm also not a pharmaceutical salesperson either. I'm a prepper who has stuff there, piles of it actually, for me and the girlfriend and a couple other people. Yeah, I do recommend that you do look into Jace Medical. There is actually a if you go to localprepper.net and then go to products I support, you will find the Jace Medical there. I think I've got a $15 or 15% coupon on that too. I honestly, I can't remember. But having that medical plan, having that plan for medicines for long term, because you can buy like a long term amount of the prescriptions, and right now would be the time to do it before the prices go wacko, before the prices go nuts, because sooner or later these distributors for even like Jace or Duration Health, they're going to start to feel the pressure on that and their prices are going to go up as well. But because they sell bulk medicines, their prices are going to be much lower than if you did it at a pharmacy. So please check out Jace Medical, save a little bit of money, use my coupon code. It's in there someplace. Yeah, definitely do that. Thank God I do not need medications. The girl, everybody in the family, Hicktown Honey, thank you very much. She just hit that. What do we got here? Let me see what she's got pulled up here. Medical lists. Let's you know what, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. This thing just said the site has coupons. Yay! So they sell diabetes meds. I got you. Anti-seizure, asthma, cholesterol, diabetes. You know what? We're gonna what the hell? We're going to give me 1 second, guys. Prepper.net. I've never actually gone to that website, my own website on this before. I'm going to go ahead and throw this down there for you guys. And so that you have it, I'm going to throw that there, and we're going to Grumpy. We were just talking about you, man. We were just talking about you, and I was telling everybody here that we have to go to, we have to support what you're doing at tonight. So check your email, bro. I sent you a message. Let's see here. Jace. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share this real quick. And they sell diabetes. Aloglapetin. I can't even read this, guys. Frigmer, gripsazide, metformin. So if you have diabetes issues, then yeah, no problem, Deanna. If you have diabetes issues, then you definitely need to do that. But like I said, they sell lots of family planning, gout, hair loss, headaches. They are like full up pharmacy. High blood pressure, that's something I know there's a lot of people that are on that stuff. We got mental health. They're actually doing pain now, meloxicam. That's weird. Thyroid, urinary issues. I had no idea. I probably need to do a little bit of research. But once again, this is all about me. I don't need. Oh man, I didn't show that to you guys. Hold on a second. Let me see here. There we go. So we're going to go back to this. So anesthesia, antiviral, autoimmune, blood thinners, cholesterol. We know people got that. They got diabetics, digestion, family planning, gout, hair loss, headaches, heart, heart, and blood pressure. Man, they are loaded up. So if you're on this kind of medication, you need to be checking out Jace. Mental health, same thing. I've got some pain. We got some thyroid. We got some urinary stuff. Okay, so definitely check those guys out, guys. I put the link in there for the people who are watching this later on. I will put a link in the comments so that you'll be able to find this stuff pretty easy. All right, so let's see here. I made friends with a chemist pharmacist when I was in India. Whoa, that's a great place to do that. Yeah, the only thing is I just worry because I know there's legitimate pharmacists and medical, or not medical, but medicine producers in India, overseas. I know they exist, but people are really worried. And I have seen some of the medicines that come over from overseas, and some of them are not super duper great. Let's see here. Suburban Prepper says, I get meds from a distributor in Canada and India, but I have a medical license. There you go. Let's see here. India, not Indiana. What's wrong with Indiana? No. Wow, Jace really stepped up there. Yeah, exactly. I've been telling you guys like forever. I'm an affiliate for Jace, and I'm an affiliate for I can't even remember the name of the other company. But I only talk about Jace for a reason, guys. I only talk about Jace for a reason. They are the best. They were the first ones to the game. They are like leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else. Basically, all the other companies watch Jace to see what they're going to do, and then when they do it, then they copy them. It's that easy. So, wellness, Hicktown, how do you make friends? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking about, Hicktown. Catitude. Hey, so what are your discounts like? All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We got about 10 more minutes left on the live stream. Let's go ahead and move on. I actually had a lot of stuff lined up, but I wanted to talk to you guys about something more near and dear to my heart. I'm not exactly sure which screen I'm on now, but let's go ahead and share that one right there. So why do banks fail? Why do banks fail, and why are we talking about it, and what's next in the 2023 lessons and predictions? So let me, a lot of people are like, well, it's because of this, it's because of the economy, it's all these other big words that aren't actually completely correct. So I found this article. I thought it was pretty neat. This actually comes out of where are we at here? The SSNC. I don't know what it is, but they are really smart. Let's see here. So banks can fail for many reasons, the majority of which fall into one of three broad categories. So once again, we're at the big blue the overarching arrow stuff. One, a run on deposits, leaving the bank without the cash to pay customer withdrawals. We talk about this all the time, where we're like, if everybody lined up at the bank and said, give me my money back, the bank would have to close its doors because they are only required to, I think it's 20% of deposits at any one bank. They're only required to maintain 20% of deposits. So if we all got in line, they'd have to close their doors. Let's see. Number two, too many bad loans, assets that fall sharply in value, eroding the bank's capital reserves. Yes, so all those crazy words, even in their simplest term, basically means that they issued a loan and somebody stops paying it, and enough people stop paying their loans, and so that erodes the bank's capital reserves that they're using to insure the loans. Okay. Number three, a mismatch between the bank, between what the bank can earn on assets, primary loans, and what it has to pay on liabilities. This can mean a lot of things, but primarily let me see here. I'm trying to give you a really good example of this. You deposit $100 into the bank. The bank keeps $20 and they give $80 away as a loan. Okay. So the bank only has $20. The next guy walks in and gives 100 deposits $100. The bank keeps 20 of that and then gives away that other 80 as a loan. They get all that. It's like a big domino. Okay. And then the interest rates go kind of wacko. And now the banks can't pay off of everything from their assets into their liabilities, or I'm sorry, their assets become liabilities. So it's a really big, like a giant domino effect. But I wanted to show you guys something. That's not it. That's not it. That is not it. That is not it. That is not it. That is not it. I'm missing a page that I cannot show you. So we're just going to move on to the next subject. Banks suck. Let's see. I'm working from home today and I have only one patient. One patient. Crazy. Let's see here. Instead of going out on Veterans Day, I just grill beef ribs at my house. Oh, how I love beef ribs. Okay. Costco meat. Well, you guys are talking about some stuff. It's crazy stuff in here. Let's see here. VA medical are free. Let's see here. Beef ribs. No one cares. Costco meat is overpriced. Is it? Is it? Let's see. I like local grocery stores with a butcher. That's true. You can actually get some pretty good deals at the local butcher store that actually have like an old Piggly Wiggly and where they still have butchers on staff. Yeah. You can actually get yourself a pretty good deal, Let's see here. Let's see. Looking at the Rumble side, is it wellness? I still company that you are also No, it's not wellness. I don't know who wellness is. Let's see here. Hicktown Honey says I had my Jace case in a week from signing up. It was quick. Yeah, exactly. 100%. They are the fastest. They are the most efficient, and they're actually going to get you your case. I've actually seen where they in their mind, it's more important for you to have the medications than the cases inside of it. And that is another reason that I moved away from the other company, was because they charged you more money. They gave you less medication at the same price. I'm sorry. They charged you more money. They gave you less medication, but they gave you a cool case. It's one of those impact resistant cases. It's like, okay, so at what point do we have to worry about impact resistance for medicine? So anyway, that's why I went and to close the story out, they'll actually, if they run out of cases, they'll actually just send you the medication in plastic bags, because they know it's more important for you to have the medication than the plastic bag. And then if you just stay on them, they'll send you a case as soon as their cases come back into stock. So I've actually seen that. That actually happened to me one time with one of my cases. Let's see here. Did I flip this over? I don't know what screen you're looking at. Okay, so a new report from the Financial Times shows 20 of the world's largest banks slashed 61,000 jobs in 2023, a move to protect profit margins in a period of high interest rates amid a slump in deal making and equity and debts. This compared to the 140,000 lost during the GFC, or the Great Financial Crisis of 2007, 2008. And I wish I could make that go away. Let me change this a little bit. Maybe I can. There we go. All right, let's see here. I read that already. We know all that paragraph. We know all that. There's no stability, no investment, no growth in most banks. And there are likely to be much or more job cuts. FT noted that corporate disclosure data and its independent reporting did not include smaller regional bank cuts, indicating total job loss could be much larger. Yawn number 2. All right, see here. At least half of the job cuts came from the Wall Street lenders struggling with Western central banks' most aggressive interest rate hikes in a generation. The most significant cut of any single bank was Switzerland's UBS. We all heard about that last year. Morgan Stanley reduced jobs by 4,800, Bank of America 4,000, Goldman Sachs 3,200, JP Morgan 1,000. As a whole, Wall Street cut 30,000 workers this year. The revenues aren't there, quote. This is partly a response to over-expansion, but there is also a simpler explanation: political cost cutting. A global head of competitor analytics at Coda warned we expect full year 2024 to be a continuation of the story of 2023. So what they're talking about in that article is that as the banking crisis that no one's talking about anymore gets worse and worse and worse, they'll fire more people until they actually fold. So here's the thing. No one's actually talking about it, all right? And it's kind of sad that they are, because the whole interest rate thing, it's still happening, okay? So everybody's talking about how the stock market is surging. The stock market has been surging for the last 1 to 2 weeks, and it's going up and up and up and up and up. And they're like, what are you talking about, man? Everything's great. Well, a couple of weeks ago, the Fed came out and said, we're not going to change. We think we've done it. We've did a soft landing. Yeah. But in closed door conversations, they're like, guys, we have to continue raising rates. There's no way we can go flat. So the stock market thinks, and they're kind of riding this out, trying to make money, but it's going to blow up in their face. Okay. So they're like, oh yeah, because we're going to go back to zero interest rates. Guys, I'm here to tell you right now, mark my words, January 3rd, 2024, we are never going back to zero interest rates. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, never, ever, never going to go back to zero interest rates. And the reason is because it's stupid. It's because it got us into what we're in now. Okay. It's happened before in the past, but in the world of instantaneous information that we live in now, people are more awake than ever about how things work. You see these videos, these recolorized videos of people walking around in the 1920s because there were no jobs. It was easier for a 12-year-old boy to get a job, doing anything, delivering newspapers, anything, than it was for a grown man, military-age male, to get a job digging ditches. And if you look at all those pictures, they're all military males, and there's a few females in there. No one knew anything. They only knew what they read in the newspapers and what their friend told them. That was it. That's how information was relayed. Now, beep, boop, beep. Okay, I know exactly what's happening in the world at any time. Any specific moment, I know. So it's the interest rates are never going to go back to zero. Hopefully we can get them around the 3% rate at some point in the next 10 years, before our kids actually have to get into this mess. Yeah, that's the deal. That's the deal. Okay, it looks like we hit our 1 hour mark. I'm going to go check the chat real quick. Let's see here. Ever? Okay, ever? What do we got in the chat? Contingency medical. Yeah, that may be one of them. I honestly can't remember, but that sounds familiar, Eagle Lover. Let's see here. Keep your meds airtight. That's one way of storing them. Yes. Let's see. I think it is Eagle Lover. I have some of my expendable cash invested in Amazon stock. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing. I mean, it must be nice to have expendable cash. Okay, guys, I think that's going to be about it for today. As usual, like I was talking about, let's not forget about it. Tomorrow's live stream will be from the road. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, Grumpy Acres Farm. Go find his channel. You know what? I'm just gonna. You know what? Let's stop screwing around here. Let me go find his channel. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you guys. Let's see here. Grumpy Acres Farm. Let's see here. Grumpy Acres Farm YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and get his. We're gonna put it in both. We're gonna put it in both chats for you guys. Come on now, Control V. There we go. Boom. And we're gonna throw that in there, and boom. Okay, that's not the right one. That is not. God dang it! Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, Jerry. Jerry, if you're out there and listening, I love you, man. That's the one I want. There we go. We're gonna throw his. Boom, and we're gonna throw his in there too. Okay, so we got him in the chat there. Let's see. What do we got here? What else? And then tomorrow, we're actually going to be, obviously we'll have a live stream tomorrow morning. That's going to be from the truck. But 7 p.m. watch party, and it'll be a surprise. It's going to be on Rumble. I'll send messages out to everybody, letting them know where to meet up, where to link up, so we can watch ourselves some stuff. All right, guys. I think that's going to be about it. If you like what I'm doing, you know how to find the links. They're down below someplace. That's going to be it. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. Pushing buttons now. Bye-bye. Where's that damn button at?